प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्दा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्वगुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। वृंदरा श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। Today we will be discussing part 2 of Raja Vidya. Knowledge in Krishna consciousness is so perfect that if one performs work in Krishna consciousness and it does not attain perfection, in his next life he takes up from wherever he left off. In other words, actions performed in Krishna consciousness are durable. On the other hand, material achievements, because they pertain to the body, are vanquished at death. Knowledge that pertains to designations does not endure. I am thinking that I am a man or a woman, an American or Indian, a Christian or Hindu. These are all designations pertaining to the body. And when the body is finished, they will also be finished. We are actually spirit, and therefore our spiritual activities will go with us wherever we go. Here, Prabhupada is explaining the previous verse. If you see, Niha Vikramanashosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swalpamapi asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. This practical example is given in Srimad Bhagavatam by Jadabharata's example. So there, he has achieved almost prema stage, but due to the attachment to the deer, he lost. After that, again he took birth and he started continuing his devotional service. So this is the example Prabhupada explains in Srimad Bhagavatam, that all these material activities, designations will end with our body. But the spiritual activities, whatever we perform, even it is very small scale, it will help us in our next life. Of course, the first class intelligence is that we should not think about that. Why? Because Prabhupada says in so many lectures, an intelligent disciple should not think to take another life. He should finish it, his activities in this life, and he should try to go back to Godhead. Next, Sri Krishna indicates that this king of knowledge is also happily performed. We can easily see that activities in Krishna consciousness are joyfully done. There is chanting and dancing, eating Krishna prasadam, food that has been offered to Krishna, and discussing Bhagavad Gita. These are the main processes. There are no stringent rules and regulations that we have to sit so straight for so long or do so many gymnastics or control our breath. No, the process is very easily and happily done. Everyone wants to dance, to sing, to eat, and to hear the truth. This process is truly susukham, very happy. There is a very interesting point. I was hearing one Prabhupada lecture. There, one devotee asks Prabhupada, this devotional service and this Krishna conscious process in Bhagavad Gita, it is given as Susukam, very pleasing, very easy, very happily we can perform. But after certain time or after few years, the practitioner sadhakas, they will start thinking it is bored or they lose interest. Why? We know Krishna conscious is 100%, uh, it is completely transcendental. There is no material activities or anything related to the material in Krishna consciousness. From morning till night, whatever Prabhupada has given, everything is Krishna conscious activities, everything related to pleasing Krishna and Vishnu. There is no material activities which will bound us keep it in this world. Whatever Prabhupada has given, all the activities, like if you take chanting, reading, dancing, eating Krishna Prasadam, going for services, hearing lectures, speaking about glories of the Lord. So every day we can, we can increase our devotional service joyfully. But after certain time, people will think it is bored. Why? Then Prabhupada explains very nice point in that. We are sadhakas, right? There is a in this Kali Yuga, apart from Kali influence, there is a lot of Maya's influences, allurements. So in this Kali Yuga, to practice Krishna conscious, it is not easy. Why? Because when we want to chant, our mind will go here and there. When we want to hear, we cannot hear full-fledged. Our thinking, our processing will be going somewhere and all. So Prabhupada is explaining that when we are sincere and serious, we never and ever feel that we are getting bored or not interested, or it is when we won't feel any laziness in performing devotional service. So important thing in Krishna conscious is that one should perform Krishna conscious activities with more sincerity and seriousness. Then they never and ever feel anything bored, or it is difficulty in practicing Krishna consciousness. Next. In the material world, there are so many gradations of education. Some people never finish grammar school or high school, whereas others go on and receive a university education, a BA, MA, PhD, and so on. What is this Rajavidya, the king of education, the summum bonum of knowledge? It is this Krishna consciousness. Real knowledge is understanding what I am. Unless we come to the point of understanding what we are, we cannot attain real knowledge. When Sanatana Goswami left his government post and came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the first time, he asked the Lord, what is education? Although Sanatana Goswami knew a number of languages, including Sanskrit, he still inquired about real education. The general populace calls me highly educated, Sanatana Goswami told the Lord, and I am such a fool that I them. Actually believe them. The Lord replied, why should you not think you are why should you not think you are well educated? You are a great scholar in Sanskrit and Persian. That may be, that may be, Sanatana Goswami said, but I do not know what I am. He then went on to tell the Lord, I do not wish to suffer, but these material miseries are forced upon me. I neither know where I have come from nor where I am going, but people are calling me educated. When they call me a great scholar, I am satisfied. But in truth, I am such a great fool that I know not what I am. Sanatana Goswami was actually Sanatana Goswami was actually speaking for all of us, for this is our present situation. We may be proud of our academic education, but if asked what we are not able to say. Everyone is under the conception that this body is the self, but we learn from the Vedic sources that this is not so. Only after realizing that we are not these bodies can we enter into the real knowledge and understanding what we actually are. This is the beginning of knowledge. In one lecture, Prabhupada says that, you know, what is the all Vedic scripture says about the main fundamental point of Jiva. Wherever he go to any spiritual uh, sadhus or saintly person, when he's going to meet, what he has to learn from them. Then Prabhupada says in that lecture, Atma Rakshati means how to protect my soul. Why? Because people are, forget about the soul and all, people are not able to understand that for what purpose we have come here. And later the question will come, why I'm suffering, from where I have come, where I will go after my death. These are all questions will come. So people are so gross that they not even think that what will happen after my death. So Prabhupada says that to protect your soul or to inquire that to get to go for perfect knowledge about the soul, what happened to my soul after death, from where I have come, what is my main purpose of this life. These are all questions. Prabhupada Prabhupada explained that a conditioned jiva, when he started asking, he's situated in a perfect knowledge. He started thinking about the actual knowledge. In Ishopanishad, in 10th verse, Anya devahur vidyaya anyayahura vidyaya iti shushrumadhiranam yenastat The wise have explained that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge, and that a different result is obtained from the culture of nescience. Actually, one should culture the real knowledge. One should strive for the real knowledge. How to achieve that real knowledge? Prabhupada explained in 18 points. Actually, whenever you get some free time, we should read those 18 points. In Ishopanishad, 10th verse, Prabhupada explained about the how to develop real knowledge of the self. I'm not going in detail about that. Just only first point I will tell. Prabhupada explains that one should become a perfect gentleman and learn to give proper respect to others. He's not telling anything, great things. First and important thing, Prabhupada is explaining that to learn oneself, to achieve any perfect knowledge, one should give proper respect to others. That is the first point Prabhupada is explaining. So there are several points. Prabhupada says that one should, without any duplicity, should surrender to spiritual master. He should not have any motives in his mind. So these are all things Prabhupada explains in that verse. So I'll request all of you, just whenever you get some time, please go through those points. Next. Rajavidya may be further defined as not only knowing what one is, but acting accordingly. If we do not know who we are, how can our activities be proper? If we are mistaken about our identity, we will also be mistaken about our activities. Simply knowing that we are not these material bodies is not sufficient. We must act according to the conviction that we are spiritual. Action based on this knowledge, spiritual activity, is work in Krishna consciousness. This kind of knowledge may not be seen to be so easily attainable, but it is made very easy by the mercy of Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who made this knowledge easily available through the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this, Prabhupada is explaining that to understand knowledge, the real knowledge, one should approach a spiritual master. Until unless we surrender to spiritual master, this knowledge we cannot attain. There is a one nice statement in Bhagavad Gita, fourth chapter at the end. There Prabhupada explains actually how this Krishna consciousness is awakening in heart of the conditioned jiva. In fourth chapter, last verse. Krishna consciousness is awakened by different types of sacrifices. To the demigods, sacrifice to Brahman, sacrifice in celibacy, in householder life, in controlling the senses, in practicing mystic yoga, in penance, in foregoing material positions, in studying the Vedas, and in partaking of the social institution called Varnashrama Dharma. All of these are known as sacrifice, and all of them are based on regulated action. But within all these activities, the important factor is self-realization. Furthermore, Prabhupada says that if any spiritual practice, if you want to understand, we should surrender to the bona fide spiritual master. When you surrender to the bona fide spiritual master with service and surrender, then only we can understand any spiritual activity. Otherwise, so many people will be doing austerities. So many people will do tapasya, means they will fasting, they will do so many days, and they will be reading so many scriptures, and they will be doing so many vratas. But what is their main goal? They don't have any goal for the self-realization. Their motive is different. Either they wanted to get some pious credit, or they want to enjoy with the results of that vrata or that austerities, sacrifice, whatever they do, if their motive is, their main goal is not self-realization, it is simply waste. That is what Prabhupada explained. And these are all these things, what activity has to be done, how that activity should be, these things should be guided by a bona fide spiritual master. Otherwise, every action, if it is not based on the knowledge, we will be bonded by karma. So we cannot understand what is real Krishna conscious activity. So to understand any action or how the spiritual activity is connected to any activity is connected to the Krishna consciousness, we should surrender to the spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master. Then only we can understand. So next, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided the living entities into two major categories: those that are moving and those that are not moving. Trees, grass, plants, stones, etc. do not move because they do not have sufficiently developed consciousness. Their consciousness is there. Their consciousness is there but is covered. If a living entity does not understand his position, he is like stone like he is like stone like. Although dwelling in a human body, the living entities, birds, reptiles, animals, insects, human beings, demigods, etc., number over 8 lakh species, and of these, a very small number are human beings. Lord Chaitanya further points out that out of 4 lakh species of human beings, some are civilized, and out of many civilized persons, there are only a few who are devoted to the scriptures. There is a very nice instruction in in Mahabharata. Prabhupada also quotes this one several times. That Yudhishthira in when they go for this uh, Aranyavasa, that time he one Yaksha asks several questions. In that one important question is that what is the very amazing thing in this world? Then what Yudhishthira answers? Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam. Sheshastavaramichanti kim ascharya matah param. Hundreds and thousands of living entities meet death at every moment, but foolish living beings nonetheless think themselves deathless and do not prepare for it. This is the most wonderful thing in this world. First of all, to get human form, it is very difficult. In that, to get interest in spiritual life, to practice spiritual life, and next step is to take shelter, to get the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. It is even more great fortune. So when we get all this opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness, and we got shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, and we we have so many facilities to practice Krishna consciousness. If you won't utilize all this, then we are not civilized. So here Prabhupada says that we have developed consciousness. We are intelligent. If you won't use our intelligent in Krishna consciousness, progress towards Krishna consciousness, then what is the use of that intelligence? We are also one of the species. Even though we are moving, but there is no use in that. In the present day, most people claim to be devoted to some religion, Christian, Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, etc. But in fact, they do not really believe in the scriptures. Those who do believe in the scriptures are, by and large, attached to pious philanthropic activities. They believe that religion means yajna, dana, and tapas. One who engages in tapasya undertakes voluntarily very rigid regulations, such as brahmachari students or sannyasis undertake. Charity means voluntarily giving away one's material possessions. In the present age, there is no sacrifice, but from historical literatures like the Mahabharata, we get information that kings performed sacrifices by distributing rubies, gold, and silver. Yajna was primarily for kings, and charity on a much smaller scale was meant for householders. Those who actually believed in scriptures usually adopted some of these principles. But generally, in this age, people simply say that they belong to a religion, but in actually do nothing. Out of millions of such people, a very small number actually perform charity, sacrifice, and penance. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further points out that out of millions who perform such religious principles all over the universe, only a few attain perfect knowledge and understand what they are. As we discussed, there are several pious people, especially in India. We will see that people are uh, very attached to God, even though they don't have any proper knowledge about who is supreme, why we have to surrender, why we have come. All these questions they don't have. They simply worship Lord. They simply go to temples. There are very pious people. But all these activities, it won't save us to come out of repeated birth and death. We will see so many sannyasis in different religious organizations. they'll be reading so many scriptures. Like when I was uh, folk time, it happened that I met one big astrologer, Jyotisha Pandita. So uh, I was talking about, uh, of course, with me, few more my friends were there. So we are explaining about what and all we are doing, about Prabhupada activities and all. We are explaining that time. So that person, I was thinking that he's a Jyotish Pandita. He's having so much knowledge about God and all. But for those people, everyone is, God. You can believe anyone, you can worship anyone. When you ask anything about Krishna, he will tell he's great. If you ask some other God, he will tell he's great. So they themselves, even they're very good in Shastras. They will quote so many shlokas, they will explain so many things about Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, about mystic yoga, so many things they'll explain. Even they can, they will explain you about your future, but they themselves don't know what is the ultimate goal. They believe liberation, but they don't know actually what is liberation. And in scriptures, in Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, we believe that the love of God is more important than the moksha. So these are all things explained by Prabhupada for us. So even we will see people are performing sacrifices, charity, tapasya, and so many rules and regulations they are following. But if it won't culminate in devotional service towards Krishna, what is the use of all those things? So that's why only a few attain perfect knowledge and understand what they are. Actually, we are really fortunate. At least we know what is perfect knowledge. Just knowing I'm not this body, but I'm a spirit soul is not sufficient. We have to escape this entanglement of material nature. This is called mukti, liberation. Out of many thousands of persons who are in self knowledge as to what and who they are, only one or two may be actually liberated. And out of many thousands who are liberated, only one or two may understand what and who Krishna is. So understanding Krishna is not such an easy job. Thus, in this age of Kali, an age characterized by ignorance and chaos, liberation is out of the reach of practically everyone. One has to go through the whole ordeal of becoming civilized, then religious. And then one has to perform charities and sacrifices and come to the platform of knowledge, then to the stage of liberation. And finally, after liberation, to the understanding of what Krishna is. This process is also indicated in Bhagavad Gita. Just knowing I am not this body, but I am spirit soul is not sufficient. We have to escape this entanglement of material nature. This is called mukti, liberation. Out of many thousands of persons who are in self knowledge as to what and who they are, only one or two may be actually liberated. Once Prabhupada asked, this is a very famous lecture, they will ask Prabhupada, one disciple asks, how much time it will take to become fully Krishna consciousness, fully surrendered to Krishna. So what Prabhupada answers, there is a very in YouTube you will get this one. When you search for this, then Prabhupada says that Prabhupada it will one moment. If you are surrendered, if you are determined, If you are sincere and serious, it will take one moment. If you are not interested, if you are like normally, okay, anyway it's going on, let us go on. So if you are in that case, it may take lives. How many lives it will take, we don't know. So it is not easy in this age to practice Krishna consciousness. The process is very simple. To practice Krishna consciousness is difficult. Why? Because there are so many allurements. Prabhupada says that here it's ocean of sense gratification. It is not small pond or small, lake. No, it is ocean of sense gratification we have here. So anywhere, any corner, you can enjoy your senses. And you no need to, there is a two things we should know. There is a illusion and delusion. Illusion means there is a external things like we will see and we will hear and there is Maya outside. But delusion means we ourselves will keep in Maya with our own sense gratification thoughts. Even though we know that this is Maya, we should not do, but we are forced to do it. We are completely into the delusion because we are not sincere and serious. We are sometimes momentarily serious and sincere, but not all the times because we are still conditioned souls. We are sadhakas. So that's why we should be very strongly determined to be in Krishna consciousness. Then only it will work. This process indicated in Bhagavad Gita. What is that? Brahmabhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati. Samasarveshu bhuteshu madbhakti labate param. Brahmabhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati. Samasarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param. This is a formula Krishna has given for us how to attain devotional service unto him. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the supreme Brahman. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. There is a one nice statement by Prabhupada in fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. In 4.22, Prabhupada explains, one who is not attached to the results of his activities, he is ever satisfied and he is independent. Why I'm telling this one is that in spiritual life, one should be fully satisfied. If he is satisfied, he can practice Krishna consciousness very happily. If he's not satisfied, he will hanker so many material things. So Prabhupada is explaining that how one should be satisfied. So when he is not hankering for the fruitive act, means the results, he is not attached to the results of his activities. He's just depend on the Lord. He did as a dharma he has to do, he did. So then he's satisfied and he's independent. What is the independence here? Prabhupada is explaining. He neither begs nor borrows. He labors honestly. In that way, he's independent. He is satisfied with gain which comes according to his own accord. He is free from duality, Dvandva Swabhava. He is free from envy, steady both in success and failure, never entangled although performing actions. In 4.22, Prabhupada explains about this. सो ब्रह्मभूता प्रसन्नात्मा न सोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्ति लभते परः. One to attain pure devotional service, he should be fully satisfied. How he will be satisfied? He should not hanker for the results of his actions. He should not be attached. As a matter of duty, he should work hard for the Lord, but he should not uh, attach to the results of his work. Then he will be satisfied. To come Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nasochati Nakangshati, it's completely depend upon the Guru and Krishna's mercy. Because until and unless we are sincere and serious, we cannot attain the mercy of Guru. Once you get the mercy of the Guru, you will come to the perfect knowledge. Once you get the perfect knowledge, then you are you are attached to your constitutional position as a servant of Krishna. Then you will come out of all the dualities and you will see each and every living entity as a part and parcel of the Krishna, Supreme Lord. Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu. Sarveshu Bhuteshu. It will happen that time. These are all the signs of liberation. The first symptom of one who is liberated is that he is very happy. It is not possible to find him morose, nor does he have any anxiety. He never frets. This thing I don't have. Oh, I must secure this thing. Oh, this bill I have to pay. I have to go here, there. One who is liberated has no anxieties at all. He may be the poorest man in the world, but he neither laments nor thinks that he is poor. Why should he think that he is poor? When we think that we are these material bodies and that we have possessions to go with them, then we think that we are poor or rich. But one who is liberated from the material conception of life has nothing to do with the possessions or lack of possessions. I have nothing to lose and nothing to gain. He thinks I am completely separate from all this, nor does he sees anyone else as rich or poor, educated or uneducated, beautiful or ugly, etc. He does not see any material dualities, for his vision is completely on the spiritual platform, and he sees that every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. Thus, seeing all entities in their true identity, he tries to take them back to Krishna consciousness. His viewpoint is that everyone, whether he be a Brahmana or a Shudra, black or white, Hindu, Christian, or whatever, should come to Krishna consciousness. When one is situated in this way, then Mad Bhakti Labate Param. He becomes eligible for becoming a pure devotee of Krishna's. There is a one nice example for this. Of course, there are several examples, but time is not so only one example I'll tell you. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Shivananda Sena, when with Nityananda Prabhu, they are all coming to Mayapur to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That time, uh, when they are traveling from Bengal, they are coming to Jagannath Puri. That time, one dog also followed. So Shivananda Sena is a pure devotee of the Lord. He started taking care of the dog also. He used to pay tax for the dog also. Then in between, uh, somehow that dog has left him. But finally, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when you read the pastime, the dog has reached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it is explained that it has gone back to Godhead because it has taken shelter of Shivananda Sena. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blessed that dog, and it has gone back to Godhead. So, and If you take shelter of a pure devotee, if you get his mercy, all these things are possible. So we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have a question here.
Yeah, please, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I wanted to understand one thing. Now we are like practicing the Gaudiya Vaishnava way of Krishna consciousness, right?
Hmm.
There are other schools who are also teaching their own way of Krishna consciousness, and
Hmm.
there are people who are really not at all aware of what Krishna
Hmm.
consciousness is. Be it like they don't know even about any of the schools, any of the sampradayas, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But they are also doing devotional service to Krishna in their own ways.
Hmm.
There is a possibility that a particular soul's way of serving Krishna or loving Krishna may be
Hmm.
far much better pure
Hmm.
than what, for example, I am doing. So
Hmm.
how do I understand whether his way of working, whether his way of trying to reach Krishna or love Krishna or reciprocate with Krishna is better than mine's, or like what is more acceptable to Krishna? How do I understand that?
Actually, Mataji, first we should understand
Mm-hmm,
bhakti. It is not like that. Uh, you will follow whatever you like. You know,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
in conditioned stage, bhakti we will practice under the guidance of a spiritual master. This is the first
mm-hmm,
thing we should learn. Under guidance, bhakti should be practiced. Otherwise, it is just sentiment. That sentiment, it will come sometimes, it will go off. Why? Because there is no knowledge in that sentiment. Those sentiments also good.
mm-hmm,
I'm not telling it is not good. It is also good. But that sentiments should become your part of life. Like, people, it is not like that I have mood, I will chant. I don't have mood for I won't chant. No, not like that. So the disciple, true disciple, whether I have mood or not mood, I will chant 16 rounds. Whether I have feelings or I don't have feelings, I don't, no, I won't feed Krishna. No, no, not like that. You have to feed Krishna. Why? Because you are following your whatever your guru said. So bhakti always should be under the direction of guru. Otherwise, it won't go for the long. And there are so many other sampradayas. What you're telling is that so many people they will
mm-hmm,
show more bhakti. Those are all things, but we don't know what is their motive in their heart. Why? Because they don't know actually for what purpose we have to do devotional service.
mm-hmm,
So these are all understandings. Actually, for what bhakti? It should please Guru and Krishna, and we should be always be in touch with Krishna. These are all
mm-hmm,
things how we will understand by the mercy of Guru only. By bona fide spiritual master's mercy only we can understand about bhakti. Otherwise, it's just sentiments. There's so many people we will see, that when they, example, I will tell you that they, they will come and in front of Lord, they will cry so much.
mm-hmm,
In the temple, we will be seeing. But they don't know anything what has to be followed, what is not to be followed, how bhakti has
mm-hmm,
to be performed. These are all feelings, inner feelings they have somewhere by their pious credit, by their some sukruti. But to understand real bhakti, we should surrender to a bona fide spiritual master. And we should follow whatever method he has given to us. And we cannot compare and we cannot judge of anyone's bhakti. Why? Because currently we are not in that stage. Because we don't know what are the motives they have in their heart.
Yeah.
So that's why
Yeah.
just we will surrender to our spiritual master and we will follow whatever it is. And we'll follow his
Okay, Prabhuji.
instructions. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. One more question, Prabhuji, like in continuation to this.
Mm.
Uh, does getting a diksha, does being dikshit determine that you are far much better or advanced in the bhakti yoga? Is it like that? Or there is a possibility some people may not be able to, go to the level of diksha, but they are still serving the Lord and following the, whatever instructions the Guru has prescribed for us to follow.
Mm.
So how much is diksha important, and or is it mandatory to help understand that we are now finally prepared to do a proper bhakti for the Lord?
You are asking whether to take Diksha is required or not required.
Yeah, whether it's mandatory or
Yeah.
like if somebody is not able to take it, but still doing all the practices as per instructed by the spiritual master.
Mm.
So is it okay that he continues to practice but gives little more time to finally get the diksha for himself?
No. According to scriptures, we should take Diksha from a bona fide spiritual master in front of fire, in front of Vaishnavas, in front of deities. We should take. Why? Because it will give us more, sincere, it will give more seriousness in our Krishna conscious practice. Why? Because when you're doing everything, why can't you take this Diksha? What is stopping us? When you're doing everything for Guru and Krishna, why
Mhm.
can't we take Diksha? That is what Shastra says. One should surrender and he should take Diksha from a bona fide spiritual master. Of course, it is not that you have taken Diksha in front of them and you are fully surrendered. For few people, after taking Diksha, they will become even more sincere and serious in bhakti. For few people, why? Because it is depend upon after that how they are situated, how they are practicing, and how they are connected to Guru and Krishna in instructions, how they are following. These are all things are there. But important thing has to be noted. We should take Diksha. Is it clear, Mataji?
Yeah, yeah.
No, when you are doing everything, what is stopping to take not to take Diksha?
There might be challenges that we may face. For example, like if I am into a job, right?
Mm, mm,
Sometimes the job may allow me enough time to practice my Krishna consciousness practices
mm,
that I have to do daily, but
mm,
sometimes it may not. So what I feel is why to offend my guru, why to
mm,
offend my spiritual master if I'm not. So what I feel is practice as much as you can, and when you're finally ready for the Diksha, then go and take the Diksha. But continue
mm,
to practice. At least your homework should be complete so that it comes into your habit of practicing. There are certain times when, like, I'm not able to follow certain things.
mm,
So, what I feel is rather than offending my spiritual master, at least I should not proceed to take the Diksha. Stay back, continue practicing as much as you can. Once you
mm.
are ready, take the Diksha and completely get into Krishna consciousness
How you
and
will
follow
come?
all the instructions 100%.
Okay, how you will come to know that how you are when you are ready? How you will come to know
Post
that I am ready?
retirement, post
Like this.
retirement, I won't have anything to do. I'll be all free. And since I'm practicing 90% of it, I'm sure
Mm.
post retirement 10%, setting that into a daily habit won't become difficult because
So
I'm
no,
already into it.
no, already 90% you are surrendered. Why you want to stop 10% now? 90% you already surrendered to the Guru and
Job
Krishna.
is not allowing me. Like I am not always able to chant 16 rounds, for example. Sometimes it happens 20, 22 rounds. Sometimes it happens just 4 rounds.
Hmm.
So it is not me who is stopping myself.
Hmm.
Because sometimes there's too much of work that I don't get time even to eat or offer to Krishna or to cook.
Hmm.
So I know that I am bound by certain things, certain factors which I can't control. So
Hmm.
why should I offend my spiritual master?
Only one answer I can give you now. That thing is that you, no, these are all, we cannot tell like this. It's depend upon the, uh, how can you adjust the things? No, there are people who are whole day busy, but they will get up very early in the morning and they will chant 16 rounds. I have seen so many congregation devotees. They'll finish their rounds and they'll go to office. Whole day they'll be very busy. Even if you take so many factories and all, they are running, there are big people. So they are finishing their 16 rounds. It's person to person, it will vary. So we have to take
Yeah.
some association and we require guidance and we should consult some senior devotees and according to that we should take steps. It is not that it is not possible. It is possible, 100% possible. Why? Because we have seen people who are whole day, they are busy, they are finishing their rounds. Minimum chanting 16 rounds, you can do it. If you are strict to that, you can do it. We have seen people. No, you cannot even see them once they go to the outside of their house. They will come midnight or something, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, like that. They will take some rest and they will chant some rounds. They'll finish few rounds and they'll sleep and again they'll get up. There are several people. There are so many examples we have seen. So it's
Yeah,
completely
sorry to
different.
interrupt, Prabhu. I do that. I do that, Prabhu. So I'll ensure that morning in case if I complete 10 rounds, night after coming from home office, I'll complete the pending work, household work or office work. And before going to bed, I'll complete the remaining rounds. But maximum, I'll try to do it in the morning because I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So
Okay.
that's how I practice,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Yeah, there are so many people. I have seen several people. They are, compared to your ashram people,
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. It's not a daily thing, but yes, sometimes we have 24/7 support. Throughout the
yeah.
night, I have to wake up and do the support. I don't get time even to eat. I can't cook. I can't wash the utensils. I can't do the cleaning and all. So when you are living all alone, you are
Hmm.
one man army. You have to manage
Hmm.
everything. And when the
Hmm.
weekends are involved in the job, then
Hmm.
again, it's not possible. You don't get time to go out and purchase groceries and all. So,
Understood.
and I have made it a habit not to eat outside food since last 3 years.
Good
So
management.
either strictly temple prasadam or home cooked food.
Hmm.
And there are no dependencies. I'm dependent on myself. So it's not always possible. I don't have helping hands with me.
Hmm.
So
So,
sometimes I'm able to do, sometimes I'm not able to do. So my intention is not to offend Prabhupada.
no, there
By
is no
like, even if
offense.
one day it is missed, I cannot do that.
No,
Yeah.
it is not like you're offending Prabhupada. There are situations. So Guru and Krishna, they can understand. So for this, there is a counsel required. So the devotees who are in touch with you, they can understand you better than me. So you just consult them and whatever they'll guide according to that, you can do. If they tell you that you have to take initiation, we will help you on those things and all, you just take initiation. So you consult them and according to that, you take decision. That is what I want to tell you.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll
So
stop
I
here.
was like, I'll proceed to take classes, but I really do not know whether I'll finally take the Diksha or not. I'll give exams, I'll proceed to take the classes and everything. That is not going to be a problem with me. But I'm
Okay.
too scared to be, yeah.
Okay, don't worry, Mataji. We'll pray for you. Okay. So we'll start. Hare
Sure.
Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.